2025 Kawasaki Klx 300 after break-in review. Just did the first service on it. Got 605 miles now. Took me a little while, but it's kind of an extra bike for us. So yeah, we didn't really put miles on it super quick. But why don't we take a little look at it, take a little walk around, and I can give you some impressions now that I have a few more miles on it. I just want to break in this video real quick and ask if you wouldn't mind subscribing if you're into motorcycle content. I'll have a lot more coming your way, a lot of different types of stuff, and I'll be continually upgrading equipment and hopefully myself, you know, as well. I mean, not no Botox or nothing weird like that, but you know, working on creative content and stuff. So if you wouldn't mind, throw me a subscribe. It really helped me out. All right, bye. All right, and we're back. All right, Klx 300 Dual Sport, all stock except for a Kuba Link. This is my wife's bike, so I do have the, I think it's the 1-inch Kuba Link, and I do have the forks raised in the triple clamps just a bit, make it a little more comfortable for her. I do apologize for this wind. It's a little breezy today, so I'll do the best I can. Turn signals on because of course it is. Other than that, all stock. 605 miles now, just did the service. I have dropped it a couple times. Every time has been me dropping it, not my wife too. But it's held up really good so far. So this is the 4th Kawasaki I've owned. Had a little 140 for my daughter, bought new. A Z400, I bought 500 miles, so I did the initial brake and oil change on that. The Eliminator that I've had previously, that was brand new, and this has been brand new. So I've done 4 initial oil changes on Kawasaki's, as well as multiple Hondas and a Yamaha. So I have a little bit of experience with break-in service. One thing I can say about a Kawasaki compared to the Honda and Yamaha is there's always appears to be just a hair bit more metal in the oil. And I don't know whether that is standard, but I've seen it in quite a few of them, so I'm assuming it is just a standard thing as the metal wears in. It just seems a bit more on the Kawasaki's and the Honda's, Yamahas. I do think I have a little clip of that, so hopefully I can cut that in and you can see what I'm talking about. Nothing catastrophic, just initial wear. All the more reason why it is important to do your break-in oil change, because that is rough on the motor. Also, this bike, of more than any bike I've been on, I'm sure it's because it's so small, got way freer in the engine after a few hundred miles. I picked it up and I had a little bit of highway ride to do, and a lot of it was 55. Flow traffic's probably closer to 65 on all that, and it struggled when I first got it. It just did not want to go 65 miles an hour. Now I have had it on the freeway and I have had it running 75 miles an hour, no problem. I mean flat ground, let's not say uphill, but it'll do it. You are running some higher RPMs when that happens, but it'll do it. I've commuted on it. It's not a rocket ship by any means, but it's also it'll go the flow of traffic on the freeway, at least here where I live in Idaho. One thing I could say about most Kawasaki's, they just feel a little bit rough. Like right there. They just feel a little, I don't know what it is. They've always, like the Honda and the Yamaha, they always feel just a bit more smooth in the engine. These always just feel a bit on the rough side, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's an issue. I know they're plenty reliable. I've had it off-road a few times, and it's great. It's a little tractor, you know. It's not a motocross bike. But the suspension, especially before I put the lower end link on it, was not bad. It was surprisingly good amount of hold-up. You could have some fun on it. And it's not overly powerful, but first gear is really low, and it just tractors. Whereas if you're on like a 450 or something, at least especially the older 450s, and you're going up a hill and you're not in a little bit of the meat of power, they just go blah and like flame out on you. This, not so much. This will just tractor along right up the hill like nothing. Do have to keep in mind, no ABS. So, the only time that's ever really messed with me is the first ride home. I don't know if you've ever bought a bike brand new, but they are, everything's new, brakes and everything. So they do not stop well when you get them. Brakes got to break in like everything else. So whenever you get a new bike, just remember that on your first couple stops, that it's not going to be good. And that's true with every manufacturer I rode on a brand new bike, which has been quite a few at this point. I would like to get the pipe and tune on this, and there's a few other little upgrades you gotta do to it to free it up a bit. So I'm planning on, this is my next build. I think my Transalp's just about done. I mean, there's always things I'd like to do, but its power's upgraded, crash protection on that bike's upgraded. I do need to put tires, but that'll just be a standard thing I do. Let's turn here. But so this will be the next build, hopefully. Plan on doing all the good free, not free, but the free type upgrades. Free up the engine, I should say. They're not free, they all cost money. But, you know, not engine internals. Just to get the power that's in it out of it, I should say. And then, other than that, it really needs a seat, because this seat is not good once you get in the 2+ hour ride. It starts getting a little uncomfortable. Like I said, if you're on trails the whole time you're standing, majority of it, it's not that big a deal. But if you're trying to use it like a mini ADV bike, like mostly our use case for me and my wife, because I'll be on my Transalp and she'll be on this, that's when it needs that seat. So a little more power, a little better seat, and I'd like to put the 3.6 gallon tank I've seen for it, which would make the range quite a bit better. I want to say our real world expectation has been somewhere around 140, 150 miles on a tank. That's about as far as we're going to push it. Which isn't horrible. You just got to keep that in mind. A little bit of water out here. Try not to scare the dogs. said, she's not a rocket ship, right? She's probably not going to get you in trouble. I will say with the pipe tune, the throttle plates and the airbox mod and all that stuff seems to get it another, I want to say it was another like 6 horsepower and another like just about the same foot-pounds. I could be wrong on that increase, which is a lot on a little bike this small. That'd be a lot. I don't know if you can hear that. That's what I'm talking about. Right when you get to that, it just always sounds rough. I mean, the Eliminator wasn't quite so bad, but it still had it, and so did my Z. But that KLX 140 of my daughter's is the same thing. Just not smooth. And I don't have a CRF 300L to compare it against. I do have a CRF 250F, the dirt bike, but the air-cooled dirt bike that I need to do a little back-to-back on to see, and I will say that one, let's give it a little. Yeah, I feel like it's, I don't know, it's just so choked up. That's exactly what it feels like. It's just choked up, and I know that's true. 100%. When we stop again, I'll show you the exhaust, and that'll pretty much prove that to you. I know everything's got to be emissions compliant and stuff. Now, I get it. Everyone's got to do what they got to do to keep legal. But, you know, what you do when you take the bike to your house is your business. At least, depending on what state you live in. But I love this bike, I really do. I think it's a great little bike. It's something about getting on a little small, low stakes bike that is just so much fun. Especially going up little hills and stuff, you can push it without feeling like you're gonna really hurt yourself. Chugs along, 6 gear, no problem. Alright, 4-way stop. On most of my bikes that doesn't bother me because they're loud and kind of fast, but on these ones you gotta be careful because everyone's always gonna assume it's their turn, just like that white car is going to. Even though it's not their turn. Hey. Okay, lady. On a bigger, more aggressive bike, it's a little easier. But people always, they don't know the right of way, you know what I'm saying? So, what are you going to do? Not getting too crazy on this video, just a little around the neighborhood ride. It's a little chilly today, and just want to get this service done. We'll definitely have some more off-road content coming at you soon. I really do like this bike, though. I think it's a great bike. Especially, I think it was sticker price on it when I got it was $5,400. I think I got it $6,300 out the door. Like I said, absolutely brand new. I don't know that you can really beat that. It was either this or the CRF 300, with only 300s around at Carl Cycles, which is my preferred dealership for everything non-Yamaha, because they're not a Yamaha dealership. But for any Honda, Kawasaki, any of that, is they only had the Rally model, and it's not what I was looking for. It was a bit higher, and just not really looking for the fairing on this kind of bike. Take a stop up here and see if I can show you what I mean with that exhaust. Oh, it's always a little more tricky getting off once you put a lowering link, just because it doesn't want to lean quite so much. Let's see what we got here. Yes, if you look at this stock exhaust, I mean, it's absolutely tiny. It's so small. Let's give it a little exhaust sound. You're definitely not offending anybody with this bike. That's not happening. If you get a noise complaint on this bike, you just have some Karen neighbors or something like that. They're just angry. Well, anyways, I ain't got a whole lot more for this video. If you have any questions on this bike, hit me up. I'd definitely like to answer them for you. Maybe I'll make a video on it, depending on what the question is, if I can, and we'll have some more rides coming at you. I was hoping to have a lot more, but that ADV ride I did seemed to do pretty good on my Transalp, and those are so much fun. So I'll have some of that on that. I'll have some of it on this. Still have my MT-07 in the mix once in a while, so we get rid of that, which will probably be next year. I think we're going to get a Honda Rebel 1100 for my wife, and then I'll end up getting a Hornet 1000 as my street bike. So, but that'll be next year. That's out of money this year. So anyways, appreciate you guys watching this video. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Help me grow this channel, and until then, ride safe.